So this is the weekly and daily grid. These charts are built on TradingView. On the left, we have the weekly chart, and on the right, we have the daily. Let's go ahead and open up the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we have a dominant weekly cycle, which is then broken up into these minor half cycles that you see right here. We have added in these vertical lines to show how the key weekly lows and daily lows have formed relative to the idealized timing, which means relative to the troughs of these cycle brackets that we have drawn in on these charts. And overall, these cycles really have been quite clear going back multiple years. What we see here is that we had been in this intermediate term rising phase and are really still in that rising phase. Note that there is a mid-cycle low due. That mid-cycle low is due right around now. And you can see there is a little bit of a mini flag forming here in the ASX 200. So that's the core pattern that we're seeing here. And what this favors is that a low would form relatively shortly, and then we would get one more push back on the upside here in the ASX 200. Now on the upside, we are looking for a move up to this major 100 fib here at 75.59 prior to getting any more increased risk of a move on the downside here, as we would have two cycles pushing down, with the dominant cycle pushing down as well as the minor cycle pushing down. Now the next key low is due, if we bring the cursor over here, let's delete that. The next key low is due 913 to 11.1. If we shift over to the daily chart, we can zoom in here so that we have the cycles at the bottom. We had been in this short-term rising phase here. You can see that this daily low that formed was barely even visible, and then we got a nice rally there. But you can see we have formed a high very likely in this cycle and are in this short-term corrective period. The next short-term low is due July 9th to July 22nd. So really looking for this pullback to form the mid-cycle low and then to get another impulse back on the upside. So overall bias here for us is really neutral to negative right now. There isn't a whole lot likely on the downside, and we'd be more interested in watching for this short-term low to form to set up the next move back up. So overall, a pretty decent pattern here in the ASX 200, and likely to see some choppy to downward bias here for the next couple of weeks.